Announces 2-week warning strike from December 2nd. Hello, many thanks for joining us. This is the news at 11 on Nta News24. I am Charles Alpha. Nigeria and France have signed a memorandum of understanding to develop joint projects to promote and diversify the critical minerals value chain in solid minerals sector of both countries. In a memorandum of understanding signed by both countries on the sidelines of the official visit to France by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, both countries agreed to collaborate on research, training, and Franco-Nigerian students' exchange for knowledge and skills transfer. A key component of the MOU is the promotion of sustainable mining activities by executing projects and programs that reduce the environmental impacts of mining on carbon emissions, water consumption, and climate change. It also includes the establishment of joint excavative and processing projects through co-financing by public and private entities to diversify and secure the supply of critical minerals and decarbonize energy projects critical to the value chain. Dele Alake signed for Nigeria, while the Inter-Ministerial Delegate for Critical Ores and Metals of the Republic of France, Benjamin, signed on behalf of France. The MOU is expected to open new opportunities for the remediation of over 2,000 abandoned pits in the country through its plan to intervene in environmental rehabilitation and post-mining projects. And President Bola Tinubu is to leave France on Monday for Cape Town, South Africa to co-chair the 11th session of the Nigeria-South Africa Bi-National Commission alongside President Cyril Ramaphosa. The session, scheduled for Tuesday, December 3, will be preceded by a ministerial meeting on December 2, 2024 at the South African Parliament building in Cape Town. President Tinubu and President Ramaphosa will engage in substantive talks on a wide range of issues of mutual interest, including bilateral, regional, and international matters, building on the commitments from their June 20, 2024 meetings in Johannesburg shortly after President Ramaphosa's inauguration for a second term in office. The two leaders will review the process of the progress achieved since the 10th session of the BNC held in Abuja from November 29th to December 1, 2021. The 11th session of the Nigeria-South Africa Bi-National Commission will feature deliberations across 8 working groups, each focusing on a specific area of mutual interest. These include political consultations, consular and migration, banking and finance, defense and security, manufacturing, social sector, mines and energy, and trade and investments. A statement by the Presidential Advisor on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, indicates that at the high-level meeting, officials of both countries will sign several memoranda of understanding and agreements. The Nigeria-South Africa Bi-National Commission was established in 1999 to further strengthen the ties of friendship and cooperation between the two nations. And the exciting and entertaining 2024 Africa Military Games Abuja, which began 12 days ago, has ended in a grand closing ceremony with Nigeria's president, represented by the Vice President Kashim Shettima, extolling the sacrifice and spirit of African servicemen and women in keeping the continent safe. Suleiman Musa reports that Nigeria emerged overall winners of the Games with a total of 234 medals.
Culture and artistic fireworks, marking the end of the second edition of the African Military Games in Abuja, showcasing Nigeria's unity and strength, had left participants and spectators with an unforgettable and pleasing memories. Vice President Kashim Shettima, who represented President Bola Tinubu, acknowledged the resilience and bravery of the military in combating emerging threats and terrorism, commending organizers of the game for bringing African military together for enhanced cooperation.
As chairman of the Economic Community of West African States, I reiterate my unwavering commitment to stabilizing the sub-region and extending that effort across the continent. I also congratulate all delegates from the participating countries for their exemplary conduct and the immense display of sportsmanship. Through your professionalism and discipline, you have shown that you are not only military personnel, but also extraordinary sportsmen and women.
Allow me to begin by congratulating all the teams that competed in this edition of the Games. While the medals and trophies represent the pinnacle of achievement, I must emphasize that in these games, irrespective of ranking or position, every team is a winner.
Nigeria won a total of 234 medals, comprising of 114 gold, 65 silver, and 55 bronze, closely followed by Algeria, who emerged second with a total of 96 medals, and Kenya third with 50 medals. The African Military Games third edition will next hold in 2027 in Algeria. In Abuja, Suleiman Musa, NTA News.
The Academic Staff Union of Polytechnics has appeared set to commence a 2-week warning strike from December 2nd, 2024 in protest over what the union describes as unmet long-standing demands. The decision follows a National Executive Council meeting held in Abuja where leadership of the union frowns at negligence in addressing issues crucial to the welfare of polytechnic lecturers and institutions.
The needs assessment intervention funds for 2023. The appointment of a rector for Federal Polytechnic 1 unit has not been addressed despite our union's demand. Also, the appointment of rectors in the following institutions: Federal Polytechnic Damaturu, Federal Polytechnic Nasarawa, and Federal Polytechnic Oil and Gas Boni have not been released, even though the process has since been concluded.
President of ASUP, Panja Sharma, says that the union's demands span several administrations
and other critical stakeholders in the sector on the 23rd of October 2024, where an action plan was developed to address the issues in contention within specific timelines. Unfortunately, as of today, we can only attest to the resolution of item number 4, which is the intrusion of the National Board for Technical Education in the regular functions of academic board with regards to the admission of higher national diploma students. And item 2, non-review of the contentious and suspended document titled Schemes of Service for Polytechnics.
Kogi State Governor Ahmed Usman Ododo has sympathized with victims of the recent boat mishap that claimed the lives of some passengers who are indigenes of Kogi State. Governor Ododo, who expressed sadness over the boat accident, said he was particularly concerned that most of the victims were women, petty traders and artisans who are involved in legitimate business activities to earn a living and contribute to the economy of the state. The governor noted that the waterway linking Kogi and Niger State was becoming increasingly dangerous as a result of frequent boat accidents and called on relevant authorities to ensure that safety measures are put in place to minimize risk associated with water transportation in the country. Governor Ododo, who commended the National Inland Waterways Authority, NIWA, for its efforts in search and rescue operation, called for concerted efforts through interagency collaboration to prevent cases of waterways accident and to enhance emergency response management. He commiserated with the families of those who lost their lives and assured that the government will support those injured in their recuperations. And our activities marking this year's World AIDS Day, observed on the 1st of December each year, climax with an appeal by the Director General of the National Agency for the Control of AIDS, Dr. Temitope Ilori, seeking the support of religious leaders to partner with NACA in prevention spread of HIV/AIDS. The DG was speaking at a special Thanksgiving awareness church service held at the First Baptist Church, Area 11, Gariki, Abuja. Rosemary Motelenk Bilal reports.
HIV/AIDS should be a collective responsibility. As the need, the National Agency for the Control of AIDS, NACA, took the awareness campaign to places of worship. Director General NACA, Dr. Temitope Ilori, stated that the collaboration with religious leaders will help in reducing the nation's HIV/AIDS prevalence rate, which is still high.
We go everywhere. We actually do go to the markets, we go to the mosque. On Friday, we're in the mosque. We go to the community through community leaders, but we come to the church because we work through faith-based leaders, because they are an authority, over their congregation, and we believe that they have a voice to be heard and respected. So we want them to help us to propagate that message that HIV, people living with HIV should be loved. They should be shown compassion. They should be shown empathy. They should be supported so that they can stay on treatment.
DG NACA disclosed that efforts are being made by the agency not just to halt the spread of HIV/AIDS, but to achieve zero prevalence rates in the nearest future.
Unfortunately, Nigeria has the highest number of children born with HIV. So that is a major issue that we're tackling, and that is why we're preaching this message that every woman should seek antenatal care, should deliver in a center where they have skilled birth attendants, should know their HIV status, and should start medication if found positive.
Senior Pastor, First Baptist Church, Area 11, Reverend Tom Takpotore, said the gospel on prevention of HIV/AIDS remains the most effective means of controlling new infections, stressing that the church was honored by NACA to host this year's awareness and Thanksgiving service, describing the visit as timely.
As a church, we try to encourage and we'll try to work with not just NACA, with also partners of NACA towards eradication, towards helping in treatment, and towards helping in caring and in encouraging those who are HIV positive as well to try to be compliant with their various treatment regime.
The theme for this year's World AIDS Day is Take the Right Path, Sustain HIV/AIDS Response, Stop HIV Among Children. Rosemary Moltelen Bilal, NTA News.
And you're still watching the news at 11 on Nta News24. We'll take a quick break now. More reports ahead. Please do stay with us. Thank you for staying with us. Amidst Nigeria's current economic challenges, Primate of the Church of Nigeria Anglican Communion, Most Reverend Henry Dokuba, has called on citizens to hold on to hope and trust in a better future. Speaking at the 35th anniversary celebration of the Abuja Diocese, Dokuba urged Nigerians not to lose faith despite nation's struggles. This message was one of his resilience and collective responsibility.
No, that as the Lord has helped us in the church, God has also helped us in our nation. In due season, the Lord will lift this nation.
Hope, he stressed, must be accompanied by action. The primate, who also serves as a bishop, the Bishop of Abuja, called on leaders to manage Nigeria's resources prudently, emphasizing that transparency and accountability are key to rebuilding trust between the government and its people.
It's industrialization, creating jobs for the teeming youths and our citizens. When they work with their hands, they will contribute their little taxes.
Dukuba's message serves as a reminder that even in the hardest times, hope, faith and good governance can pave the way for a better Nigeria. In recognition of their service and dedication to the house of God, the pastor in charge of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, Galadimawa area of Abuja, has presented gifts and awards to church workers at the parish. Thomas Herbetere reports that the last program of this nature was 2 years ago.
'Cause you are the reason why I lift my head, why I lift my voice.
The Workers' Appreciation and Award Dinner started with songs of praise, dancing and worship to the Almighty God. In a short message by the pastor in charge, Pastor Steve Odesomi, Christians and Nigerians were admonished to be faithful and diligent to God and humanity.
What we're going to give you tonight, the certificate, the reward, whatsoever you're going to get tonight is not important. What is important is that if your eyes are closed in death tonight, if the trumpet should sound tonight, what you have done, the pastor is acknowledging you, is heaven acknowledging you.
Evelyn Jewel Ashade won the Best Workers Award in her department, while her husband also won Best Workers Award in a different department. To Evelyn and her husband, they were only doing God's work to the best of their ability, not knowing that the church's authority was watching their efforts.
Do something for God. As man is recognizing you, God in heaven also will do so.
Other members of the church say, although the ultimate reward comes from the Almighty God, however, this type of gesture from the pastor will spur them to do more in the house of God.
So we brought them here today to say thank you, we appreciate you. We know the ultimate thank you comes from the Almighty God.
But it is also still good for you to have human commendation that we see what you are doing.
And so it's a time for us to come together as one and fellowship with one another, appreciate what God has done in our midst.
The choir is filled. Even if you can sing, we are still going to send you to another department where your service is needed, because we expect that you should serve anywhere you find yourself.
Apart from award for the best in each of the 10 departments in the church, each worker was made to go home with a certificate of honor and a gift pack. In Abuja, Thomas Herbetere, Nta News.
The gloriousness and wonders that revolve the birth of Jesus Christ and its essence on humanity resonated in songs, messages, and other colorful activities as the major national broadcasting houses in Nigeria, the Federal Radio Corporation of Nigeria, Nigerian Television Authority, and Voice of Nigeria co-organized another annual service of 9 lessons and carols at the National Christian Center, Abuja. Oluseyi Diagbo reports that this year's edition has the theme, Jesus, Our Victory.
FRCN, NTA, and VON service of 9 lessons and carols is the 28th in the series, which signals the beginning of the Yuletide. The service takes the congregation through 9 passages from the Old and New Testaments of the Bible, with the 8th reading taken by the Deputy Speaker, House of Representatives, which highlights the birth of Jesus Christ and its significance.
And when they saw the star, they rejoice with the exceeding great joy.
All the lessons of the evening tell the story of the fall of humanity and the promise of the Messiah with songs presentations. Messages from the clergy, the wife of Nigeria's President Oluremi Tinubu, including the Minister of Information, enjoin Nigerians, especially Christians, to take the lessons of the season at heart by promoting the nation's unity and stability.
So Jesus is our victory over sin, victory over self, victory over death, victory over Satan, but he's also victory over burdens.
I implore you all to let us imbibe the spirit of Christmas, which is of love, of joy, of fellowship and harmony with one another.
Let us intensify our efforts to build a Nigeria where everyone is valued and respected, regardless of their faith or background.
Finally, let me use the opportunity to appreciate the NTA, FRCN, and VON for putting together this year in, year out. And honestly, it is an example to other organizations. We have to continue to remind ourselves of the importance of working together.
All the ministrations elucidated that Nigeria must be in peace and harmony. In Abuja, Olusheye Adiagbo, Nta News.
This is the news at 11 on Nta News24. A quick look at some of our top stories. Nigeria and France signed memorandum of understanding to diversify critical mineral value chain. The 2024 Africa Military Games ends in Abuja. An academic staff union of polytechnics commences 2-week warning strike from December 2nd. Bayero University Alumni Association held its annual gala nights, bringing together distinguished alumni, university officials and guests for an unforgettable evening of celebration and networking held in Abuja. The event was a vibrant showcase of the strong bonds formed during the university's academic year. Suleiman Abdul Wahab has the details.
1988. 1988. Wow. You can see? That's how many years ago?
The atmosphere was lively, with alumni from the 1980s, 1990s, 2000 to the present day, joyfully exchanging fond memories and playful nicknames such as Giwa, Gen Zs, and ancestors, reflecting the strong camaraderie among them. The gathering not only allowed attendees to reconnect and reflect on their shared experiences, but also fostered a sense of amity, creating lasting professional and personal relationships. It was a memorable evening that celebrated the unity and growth of alumni network. Those who have made significant contributions to the success and sustainability of the association were honored with awards recognizing their dedication and support. In Abuja, Suleiman Tabu Abdul Wahab, Nta News.
Nigerian Navy Forward Operating Base Ibaka, Akwa Ibom State has handed over 3 suspected smugglers with exhibits to the Nigerian Customs Service, a national drug law enforcement agency in Akwa Ibom State. Kelvin Samuel has the details.
To the related agencies for further investigation and possible prosecution, the Commander Forward Operating Base Ibaka, Captain Uche Aneki, explains The gunboat belonging to the base while on a routine patrol around Bandero and Otawayata general area intercepted a wooden boat loaded with 125 sacks of industrial chemical and 62 cartons of different brands of contraband drugs en route to Nigeria from the Republic of Cameroon. He warns perpetrators to disease as the Nigerian Navy, under the leadership of the Chief of the Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Emmanuel Gala, will leave no stone unturned in ensuring safer waterways across the country.
FOB Ibaka, under the area of responsibility of the Eastern Naval Command, will continue to work relentlessly to frustrate efforts of criminals in this general area.
Representatives of the NDLEA and the Nigerian Customs Service on receipt of the suspects and exhibit are sure of due process in handling the investigation.
It's a very huge success today by what we see on the ground at FOB Ibaka.
And all sorts of crimes are not being done under a clear eye, but under the influence of these illicit drugs.
24,800 bottles of codeine syrup, 820 tubes of betadine, industrial chemical are among the exhibits handed over with 3 suspects to the agencies. In Uyo, Kelvin Samuel, Nta News.
And this is where we end the news. Many thanks for watching. I am Charles Alpha.